Okay, guys, so I have been, oh gosh, I have a cat to pet. This is Oliver, everybody. I want you to meet my friend Oliver. He's here to disrupt society too. Anyway, so I've been meaning to talk to you about this for about a year now, and it's a very important topic to me. Those of you who know me know that this is something I talk about in real life, like in person, frequently, and it's kind of the root of why CrowSong Lodge came into existence, is because I've been talking about it for a while. But I think now, after the year we all have had, you guys might be more on board with it if I speak about it more plainly. So, the thing is that change happens very slowly when we have a really big, crowded community like we do. And by community, I'm referring to the over 7 billion people that are on the planet. And slow change is not such a bad thing when we're referring to things like governments of countries and worlds, because governments are responsible for making decisions that are good for the vast majority of their citizens, because if they aren't, then the government kind of screws it up. But some of our citizens aren't really in the place where we can wait around for a generation or two for changes to start happening, because things are a little more urgent than that. That's kind of the nature of life and reality and stuff, but I think part of the panic is coming from the fact that people have gotten very used to relying on the government in order to provide aid to its citizens. And right or wrong, whatever you feel about whether or not the government should be doing that, the government isn't doing that. So somebody else needs to. And by somebody else, I mean you and me. That's it. If it's not going to be the government, it's going to be the rest of us. And let's face it, the government, the people who work for the government is an artificial manufactured entity as it is. There is no government as if the government were some kind of all benevolent God that oversees us. The government is just a group of people who are trying to do what's right in day-to-day life, but they're human and they kind of have to come to discussions and agreements and hopefully have some foresight. And sometimes we just don't see things ahead of time, or things can't be predicted, or whatever. Governments are slow-moving entities, and sometimes life is unpredictable. Individuals are far more agile, and when they act in smaller, more concentrated groups, they can get a lot more done. Now, I'm on the internet a lot. Those of you who know me know that's one of my favorite places. And maybe now that I don't live in such a teeny tiny town, I can start being out in the world a little more and socializing with human beings in real life. But this is the nature of how I do things as it is, and this is my comfort zone, so this is how I'm talking to you today. Whatever. But there's a lot of argument over what people need to spend their time concentrating on first, what's a priority, where we should spend our energy, blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of mistaken assumptions there. And that's that one of those is that we can only ever just concentrate on one thing. And that's true for some people, but not for the majority of us. Lots of us can handle doing multiple things at a time, or segmenting our time into multiple things, or supporting multiple causes, and blah, blah, blah. We have multiple issues that need to be addressed, so at this point in time, having multiple teams addressing multiple issues is probably the most efficient and effective. And after a certain number of people, adding more people to a team is going to be pointless. You really can only get so much done with the resources at hand. After that, time has to become a factor, and throwing more humans at it is not going to help. So having multiple teams in multiple areas, working on multiple problems all simultaneously, is really the best approach to the multiple problems that we have. So all that to say is, if you see a problem that you feel passionate about, go take care of it. Don't wait for the government to take care of it. The government is slow moving and whatever. But if you have the time and the energy and the resources to figure it out, go do it. Absolutely. Feel passionate about those causes. If you're worried about children with bone marrow issues and you want to make sure that they have donors that are going to help take care of them, then go figure that out. Talk to medical professionals, talk to hospitals, talk to organizations that treat those children and work with those children, and find out what their biggest problems are in getting donations and donors and the challenges they face, and see what you can do to organize to help solve those problems. Whatever problem is close to your heart that you feel is urgent, see what you can do to start addressing those from where you are. You would be shocked at how much you can do with just a computer or a smartphone from a Starbucks. I mean, just communicating with other people, raising awareness, talking to them about things, organizing drop-off points for supplies, monies, or donations, whatever, can be a huge, amazing, gigantic help. So, we are not as helpless as we think we are. We are not as screwed as we feel as a society. We are not as doomed as sometimes we feel, because we have each other. We are a community, and we can reach out to each other and say, hey, what do you need? I'm here. Let's help. Let's figure it out. Let's get it done. And that's it. That's as simple as it is. And if you can't help someone, maybe someone you know can help someone. You can be like, hey, person needs help. Let's help them. Let's figure it out. What can we do? And that's all we need to do. That's how a community works. So let's be a community and just help each other. Like, that's as easy it is. And that's all we have to do. So instead of lamenting that the people in charge are not doing what they need to be doing, and despairing at the lack of reaction, you can also, in addition to spurring them to take action and take care of things, you can also put energy into taking care of those things on a citizen level. So, it is our world. It is our community. We are each other's community. We are each other's village. Let's take care of each other. All right? And that is my my sermon for the day. I'm all out of words, guys. I'm sorry. That's Nathara, CrowSong Lodge, signing off. Bye.